I was thinking about doing an ASMR where I talk to you guys about a Disney movie. And to be honest, I don't know the entire story of any Disney movie. Maybe Cinderella or maybe Belle. I think I probably know Belle better. So, wait. No, maybe Cinderella. We'll do Cinderella. So, Cinderella lives with her dad. And then the stepmom comes into the picture, and the stepmom is not too nice to Cinderella. And her father passes away, so now she has to be taken care of by her stepmom. And not only is her stepmom in the picture, she now has two stepsisters. And her stepsisters and her stepmom all bully her. They bully her pretty badly. They make her do all the chores. She always has to clean up around the house and take care of everything. And so she gets mistreated pretty badly. And, she figures out how to alchemize her energy and to sing while she cleans. And there's this bubble scene where there's like really pretty colorful bubbles. That's actually my favorite scene. I really like that scene with all the bubbles. It's really pretty. And I don't know the song she sings, but she pretty much, I think, sings about loving herself and just kind of doing her own thing. And then so there is a ball, and everybody's invited to the ball, and everybody in the kingdom, because the king wants to find a wife for his prince. He wants to find a princess. And so the stepmom and the stepsisters have dresses, and they're getting ready for the ball. They're really excited, and they of course have multiple different tasks for Cinderella to carry out. That way they can go to the ball, and she would be left behind at the house and not be able to go. But she does all the cleaning, and we then find out that she talks to the animals and the mice in the movie, and they pretty much help her make a pink dress. And I don't know what the pink dress was made out of. I think it was made out of extra materials. So they helped her make the dress, and so she goes to the stepmom, and she's like, I have the dress, I want to go to the ball, I want to be able to go to the ball. And the stepmom, of course, is like, no. And Cinderella says that she has the dress and is like, I really want to go. And the stepmom and stepsisters obviously get jealous, because they're very jealous of the fact that Cinderella is beautiful and nice and kind and real. And so they tear apart her dress, quite literally. They tear apart the necklace. I think it was pearls, maybe. And her pink dress, they tear it to shreds, and she runs outside to the barn and is crying, and all the mice are around her, and they're telling her that obviously that they're jealous of her, and that she is a better person than them, because she is. And so then the magic godmother, I think, the fairy, comes out and states that she can make her dreams come true, and gives her a beautiful blue dress, and her hair gets really nice, and she turns some of the horses and some of the mice into horses. That's kind of funny. And makes the carriage for her out of a pumpkin. But she says by midnight, you have to leave, because the magic will be up, and it'll disappear. And so she goes to the ball, and the prince at that moment was meeting the stepsisters and was kind of over them. He could kind of see through the facade, and they're like, just, oh, we're all that, and we're so beautiful, and da 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 da. And he could see through that, and he was just kind of looking around the room and I'm bored. And then Cinderella comes through the doors, and I think she maybe gets introduced, and he immediately is infatuated with her, goes over to her, wants to talk to her, wants to dance with her, and they dance and they talk, and I think it strikes midnight, and she, goes running, and he tries to chase after her, and she loses one of her glass slippers. Oh my goodness, a glass slipper, honestly, would hurt. And so, he grabs the slipper and keeps it, and she tries to get home, and the carriage falls apart, and I think the dress falls apart, and everything just kind of falls apart, and she gets home, and I think the stepsisters and the stepmom get home, and I think they might have, I don't think they realized that it was her. I think that's what happened, that they didn't realize that it was her at the ball until she starts singing. And then the stepmom realizes, oh, that was her. At first, I think she was just so, beautiful and put together, and, actually feeling herself, that they had never seen her like that, so they didn't recognize her, because she was actually, living, just thriving, instead of being forced to do the stepmom and the stepsisters, bidding. And then, so she is humming and singing, and and the stepmom realizes it and gets really angry, and then the prince is going around to every house and trying to find the princess, and the stepmom locks Cinderella up in the attic room, and Cinderella's crying, she's trying to get out, and I think the mice break her out of the room. I think that's what happens. They help her get out, but in the meantime, the prince was at the house, and the stepsisters were trying on the shoe, and obviously it didn't fit. They were literally trying to fold their feet so that they could fit inside the shoe, and the prince was just yeah, okay. And then Cinderella comes downstairs, and she has her, I think she had her other glass slipper in her hand. And so, I can't remember if she put on the one that the prince had first or hers, but she put on the glass slipper, it fit, and then she had her glass slipper. Oh yeah, I think that's what it is. She put on the shoe, and then he was where's the other glass slipper, and she was oh, I have it right here, and she puts it on, and, she dances around, and the stepsisters and stepmom are angry, and then she gets taken away by the prince and lives happily ever after. So that was Cinderella. Cinderella. Do. Yeah, so that was Cinderella.